Welcome to the MadLab MMA. I'm Anthony Bisceglia with Mike the MadLab Ayurada. We're back. What's up?
Look who's back, the part-timer.
The part-timer. I'm here. Hey, we were side by side watching the fight Saturday night. We'll touch on that briefly, and then we'll talk about this amazing card coming up. I mean, there's guys who should be, who would be on the main card, on even maybe headlining fight nights that are on prelims on here. So really excited. You want to touch briefly on this past weekend? Touch on your boy Anthony Smith.
I mean, listen, I can't even hide from it. And even if I wanted to hide from it, our lovely producer doesn't allow me to hide from it. She pretty much posts these videos, right? Like of every week, it's like a small recap of my pick, and then if I win or lose. And she took it upon herself to completely annihilate me on the video. And post it.
It was a rough week 2 weeks ago.
I couldn't believe it. I was like watching it.
I saw it.
Yeah.
It was like Matt, you picked Matt, and it was like other guy.
Yeah,
Other guy.
I was like, all right. So yeah, the last 2 weeks have been. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even hide. I've been an abomination.
Well, this past week wasn't bad. It was Anthony Smith's fault.
Well, no, it was also the. It was just like prop bets that we were.
Prop to start round two.
Sean Elliott,
half crash by decision.
Tim Elliott, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, so we had like Tim Elliott. We hit him by. We hit the bet straight, and then we had Tim Elliott and that fight to go into the second round of parlay. That didn't hit.
So we had the parlay TRO and half press. I know it was just like
little things, like half press by decision. He ends up knocking him out. You know, so it wasn't bad. But the last 2 weeks have not been good. However, I've been making it up tenfold in NFL.
He's been.
I don't know. Listen,
He's been on a fucking tear.
I don't pat anybody myself on the back ever, but I'm telling you, I don't think there's anybody in the industry right now.
The past like month and a half, if you go to Twitter and see the green check.
I mean, it's insane.
And I never seen somebody hit so many first touchdown props.
I hit like 5 first touchdown props in like the past
every
3
week.
weeks. Yeah, every week I'm hitting 1 or 2.
Yeah, and they're plus 800.
And I'm not doing like five of them. I'm picking one guy.
And
that's it.
This one was Kamara, right?
This one was Kamara, but I hit a plus 1,200, plus 550, plus 650.
Been totally on fire with NFL.
So that's been doing
Maybe
good.
Maybe it should be MadLab NFL.
It's almost like the gods don't want me to be good at 2 sports at one time. You know, so we're going to try to bang it out this weekend. No, I think I got a pretty good hold on this card. The main breakdown is actually almost done, which is odd because usually by Wednesday. But obviously you got weigh-ins, you got stuff like that you got to watch. But I rate this card like an A.
Oh, dude, this is the best card I've seen. Every year I say best card of the year or like February.
No, but this is.
The prelims alone have you got Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell in the prelims. You know what I mean? That just says it all right there. You know. Yeah. I want to get something off my chest.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Okay, the MadLab stable. You know what I mean? Like the core people, the ride and dies that you've been riding by for a long time. These guys are getting old, bro. The Anthony Smiths. The Tony Fergusons, like the MadLab guys in the stable, dude, they're not performing anymore, bro. It's time to get these guys out of the stable and bring in the next generation.
Yeah, but let me just say something about the Anthony Smith pick. No, the thing about the Anthony Smith business is like anybody who watches MMA or anybody who knows anything about MMA knows like if you're anybody, if you're a top 10 guy, you're not supposed to lose to Roundtree. I don't care what kind of streak he's on. I don't care. Like
he does fucking hit hard though.
He hits hard, but that's all he has. Like that's really all he has. I mean, he's got a really funky style that he's been.
Why he would stand toe to toe with him is
beyond me. But the fact of the matter is. Now that proved to me like that fight. I said if he loses this fight, like he's got to go. Anthony Smith has to go.
Yeah.
I thought if there was one fight that he could win, it'd be a fight like that because those are the fights that he wins. You know what I mean? But then if you get him up to these upper echelon guys, he has some trouble. But the Dawsons, like the guys who are coming up, who like they seem like they're going to make a move, he kind of puts that roadblock in front of him. But this was just terrible.
You know what this was? This was a good name on the resume for Roundtree.
Yeah, but exactly. But you know who he reminds me of now? He reminds me of like the guy that we all have that one friend that gives, and I'm that one friend who gives like really good advice but doesn't take his own advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what Anthony Smith is. He gives great advice.
He would have told anybody take it down, take it to the ground early.
Yeah.
Anybody fighting him, right?
Right.
And he don't do it.
And then he don't take his own advice. And he's done. He's got to retire. It's got to be it for him. It's maybe one more like fight, but against a guy who is like on his way out too.
Yeah. And before we go to the card, one thing we didn't talk about. Sang Yadong looked fucking good, bro.
Yeah, he did. He looked good.
You weren't impressed?
Yeah, I am, but I think I knew that fight was going to be boring, though.
Yeah.
You know, Gutierrez.
No, but he just did the thing.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, I mean, it's a riddle. Like, Gutierrez is a riddle. You got to find your way inside. He looked good. He said, "Well, how about that post speech? What the fuck was that?"
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's more fun to watch than Tim Elliott, though?
Yeah, but he's scary. See, but he's scary to watch.
But what a fun guy to watch.
He starts doing the head movement, starts showboating.
He is the most awkward. I mean,
he's fun. People forget, bro. When he first came into the UFC, dude, he came in on late notice, and he fought DJ.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he literally, I mean, he lost the fight, but he gave DJ some. He was involved in some serious transitions.
He's awkward for anybody.
Yeah, he's very awkward.
Scrappy. I love watching him.
I didn't see him losing that fight.
No. All right, let's go. UFC 296. We're watching the fight Saturday night. Kevin's going to be in town.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to come over. We're going to watch the fight.
Oh, you're going to be back then?
I'm back Thursday.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not missing these fights.
Oh, good. All right, perfect.
All right, let's go. We'll start right at the bottom. Actually, this is perfect to start it, right? We'll start with Luque Gary. This is exactly what we just talked about with Anthony Smith and Khalil Roundtree.
No, Luque's not on that level yet.
I'm not saying that level.
Yeah.
I'm saying the game plan for Luque should be to get it to the ground because he has a clear advantage on the ground, right? Mm-hmm. Gary could fucking strike, right? Gary's got a mouth on him, dude. And, you know, at first I liked him. Then I didn't like him. Then I liked him. And then once he started with
child molestation, like touching your kid. And yeah.
He started with that. And then the way he runs his mouth, bro, I'm really not liking this kid.
Yeah.
The kid can strike, though. He's a great striker.
Very good.
But I want this kid to get his fucking mouth shut. Luque, what Luque are we going to see? Because when Luque comes out with his A game, he's tough to beat for anybody in the division. But who are we going to see come out, dude?
Yeah.
He's a little older now. His chin isn't what it used to be, right? But he has a real chance of upsetting Gary here.
Yeah.
I love to put a plug on Luque, but I just don't know. I want to see it. And I'm just going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to take a Luque by submission. Gary's the rightful favorite. Gary's the better striker, the younger, fresher guy. But, man, I just want that to happen. So because of that, I'm taking Vicente Luque on this fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, this is a tricky one. Because my heart, obviously, you know, I hate Ian Gary.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Everybody does.
You know, but
now,
when you look at who he is, like he is good. Like
the last two fights, he really changed my impression of his striking.
You know,
he's a very good striker.
He is good, but when you look, at his takedown defense, he sits at like 69%. He can be taken down, but the problem is if you look at Luque's takedown average, it's only like one takedown per affair. He's not like this guy who's just like a Colby. He's working your hips. He relies on his durability. Like he will look what he did to Barberena, the Barberena fight.
Yep.
Perfect example. Why would you not just want to ground Barberena time after time after time after time? He was sitting there and had this like full out performance of the night slugfest with him.
Why would you want to do that with a guy like that?
So that's my problem here. I think Luque is the better fighter. You know what I mean, as far as all around.
All around.
But I gotta go Gary, bro.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I gotta go Gary because I feel like Luque's not going to do what he's supposed to do.
Just like Anthony Smith.
Yeah, you know, he's not going to. I've seen him caught up in these firefights way too much. Gary decides to maybe take him to the ground. Then Luque's in a good shape. But Luque's not that guy to like just pressure your hips and wrestle you and take you. He stands up with you. If he knocks you down, he'll jump your back. But
yeah,
like just look at his metrics. Like if you really look at his grappling, it's like he likes to bang. The guy likes to stand.
It's not a good idea.
And I don't know. I don't even know with his chin if his chin can sustain Ian Gary's striking assault for 15 minutes.
I don't think he can.
You know what I mean?
I think he has to get this to the ground.
Yeah.
When he catches one lucky shot and gets on top of him, and
listen, we may see it. Listen, you'll know within the first 2 minutes of the fight which way this fight's going to go. That's why I say it. I'm staying far away from this fight because I think it's way too juiced out on Gary. And I think Luque, like I said, it's to me like a live betting opportunity.
Yeah.
In a spot like this, you know what I mean? So I'm staying away from it, but I got to go with Gary. I got to go with Gary.
I'm probably gonna plug personally. I'm gonna plug Luque. I want him to win. I plugged Munoz last week.
Well, it's not bad. Listen, if you're gonna plug anybody, I would plug Luque. 1,000%.
Yeah. So I like it. I'm gonna Luque, but hey, this is a tough fight.
Yeah.
Right. Next fight on the card, Tony Ferguson.
I got a lot to say about this one.
Paddy Pimblett. Now let me say this first.
Right.
I want Tony Ferguson.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're not a Tony Ferguson fan.
I like Tony Ferguson. I don't like Paddy Pimblett. I haven't liked him. I hate the guys he's been avoiding. He lost to fucking
Jared Gordon.
He lost to Jared Gordon. We knew that. That was bullshit. I don't think he's that good of a fighter. I think he's overrated, overhyped. I think he's milking the endorsements as much as he can because he's not that good. But I just cannot get behind Tony Ferguson ever again, bro.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about, if I'm wrong here, we're talking about 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I think it's not even 6. I think it's fucking 7 in a row, bro.
Yeah, he hasn't won.
Okay, and he hasn't won. He's got his bell rung one too many times. Chandler knocked his brain out of his fucking head. I just don't think he's there, and I don't think him training with Goggins.
I think it's the worst thing he could have done.
I don't think that's going to do him any favors.
It does nothing.
I mean, Ferguson already had a great mindset. I didn't think he needed.
Well, no, he doesn't have a great mindset. He's a nut job, but I'm saying, like, you're not going to break him.
Yeah, I just.
You know, he doesn't need the cardio. Like, to me, that whole thing with Goggins
don't need the cardio.
Is a publicity stunt.
You know?
I really think. I think it's like it's just stupid. It makes no sense.
Unfortunately, I got to go with Paddy Pimblett here, and I got to go with Paddy by knockout. That's just how
I'm going a different way.
I can't.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. First of all, look at all his losses.
Don't even.
No, let me
he lost to Oliveira.
Oh, you're not going to hear me out. You're not going to hear me out.
No.
He lost to
Nate fucking Diaz. You can't talk no more.
Listen, he lost to Gaethje. He lost to Chuck Yalov. He lost to Beneil. He lost to Michael Chandler. He lost to Diaz. He lost by Bobby Green. The only concerning fight in this whole thing for me is Bobby Green, because he got submitted by Bobby Green.
Yeah, that's bad.
So that's the only concerning thing about this fight. Look,
you don't think that Nate Diaz too? Bro?
Nah, that doesn't concern me all that much either. I'm not real. Listen, Nate Diaz is a legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player, dude. Like this, like come on. He's good at the end of the day. Like Nate Diaz is still
he fucking made his name because he beat Conor.
So
look at the rest of the people he fought a bunch of fucking bums.
Yeah, I get it. But if you look at Paddy Pimblett, I think he's one of the most overrated.
I do too.
In and out of the UFC very soon guys. I really, really do. I don't think he's active enough. I don't think he's likable enough. I think that his weight fluctuation is going to really start eating him. This kid blows up, comes down, blows up, comes down, fights once a year, like he's in and out. But what I am going to say about this is, at the end of the day, this is a business, and the end of the year is here. And they're cleaning things out, and they're bringing things in, and they're going to start marketing new people, and they're going to start marketing new fighters. So as much as I'm going to be on the edge of my seat fucking screaming from high heaven for Tony Ferguson to win this fight, I'm going Paddy Pimblett by submission.
Okay.
I think Paddy's going to sub him.
So you said it, right? This is a business, right? You're the UFC. You want Paddy to win.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You want Paddy to win, right? He's marketable, but everybody's screaming about he's got no big names under his belt, right? Who could we put there that has some kind of name that'll hold up?
Ferguson.
It's a perfect.
That's what I mean. It's a perfect segue.
It's a perfect setup.
It's a perfect setup.
It really
because
is,
eventually,
bro.
at the end of the day, Ferguson's the type of guy that's never going to retire. You have to retire him.
And I think they're going to retire him.
Yeah, so I think the UFC, what they're going to do is listen. It's a huge UFC card.
Yeah,
it's on a main card. He's going to get probably getting a really good payday for this.
Yeah,
and they're going to say, look, bro, you go and you win the fight, then we can have the conversation. But if you go and lose this fight, then I think it's time.
You can't go 7-8 in a row. Who loses 7 in a row and stays in the fucking
2024?
UFC?
I think it's time for you to go. So I think that's the setup. Do I think Ferguson's dangerous in this fight? Yeah, and not because he's good, because I don't think Paddy Pimblett is good. I really do think Ferguson has a window to win this fight, just by overall toughness, being the tougher guy. You know what I mean? So, but I think Pimblett's going to sub him.
All right, next fight on the card. Man, you're going to see your boy Wonder Boy get worked here. Shavkat Rakhmonov. I mean, this kid is legit, lethal, up-and-coming, future contender, maybe contender even now. I mean, this kid is super impressive. Yeah. And they put Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in there, 39, 40 years old.
Yeah, but is he? Like, how much did he who did he like, what did he really do to make everyone think that he's the next great thing?
You don't think?
He's good, but I mean, he Jeff Neal, Magny, like Harris, like it's not like he beat anyone of like really great relevance.
I think that Magny and Neal is perfect, and then Wonder Boy's like right another little notch above Neal as far as.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
it's actually
I'm not saying that he shouldn't
destroyed those guys.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he shouldn't be the favorite here. But I'm just saying that, like, why does everyone think this guy's like the next great thing?
They
did the same thing with fucking Yuri, and look what happened. Everyone thought Yuri was going to be the next big thing. Look what happened.
It's a different kind of skill set.
Yeah,
this kid has. He looks impressive. You
know
what I mean, I think he's gonna fucking. I think this goes right to the ground early. You know, Wonder Boy's ground game is just subpar. What his game is. His game is to crush you with volume. You know what I mean? And it's just.
I don't know though, because Shavkat, he's not a big takedown machine, dude. He does like to stand and trade, and if he stands and trade with Wonder Boy, I think that could be a terrible mistake, dude. A terrible mistake.
I mean, Wonder Boy just. He doesn't have the power, but he does. He has the.
He's
volume.
got deceptive power. He hits you in the right spots.
But
he's a point fighter. He's a point fighter.
He's a point fighter.
Yeah.
Just like karate, point fighter. I think that Rachmanov's going to fucking wax him.
I think Rachmanov beats him too.
I think it's going to beat him. I think it's going to be inside the distance. I'm not sure how, but
I think it's going to be like to the point where he's going to get like, I think he's going to try to stand with him.
Like a TKO.
And I think the in and out movement of Wonder Boy with the little teep kicks and stuff like that, I think he's going to get like frustrated with it, and he's going to go, all right, now I got to big brother this guy.
Yeah, and it ain't going to happen.
And he's going to like big brother him.
I think it's going to be inside the distance. I'm going to say like a TKO.
I'm going to say they're going to stop it.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out. They're going to probably stop it. But what? Like, why? Why this fight? Why? Like why? Why this fight?
Well, they got to give Rachmanov a name.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a stylistic nightmare.
Yeah, I don't know why Wonder Boy. There's no gain for him here. I mean, sure, if he.
No, there's a gain for him here.
Yeah, I guess there is.
There's a gain for him. But why? But why? This doesn't make sense for me. Like this matchup. There's a lot of fights on this card. Like even the Tony Ferguson fight makes sense from a business perspective. Doesn't make sense.
It seems
this
like
whole card is a business perspective.
They're setting up Wonder Boy for the kill here.
They're setting him up too. 41 years old. Maybe this will be the pink slip for him too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't even know. But this is a very high business rated card.
Yeah.
This is for the new year. This is to bring in the new blood. So yeah, I think this is going to be. You're going to have Pimlet coming off a win with Ferguson. You're going to have Shavkat coming off a win from Thompson. Like these are, and then their highlight reels are going to show for next year when they fight. Well, look what he did the time. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Shavkat inside the distance.
Here we go. All right, we're on the right side of everything so far. Pantoja, Royval for the championship. Man, the flyweight championship. Dude, Pantoja's one of my favorite. He's top 2, top 3 favorite fighter for me in the UFC. I love this guy. I love his attitude. Yeah, great nickname. The guy just comes out like he'll go in there with it. He'll fucking just dog it with you. He'll go into war with you. He's fearless. I love the guy. Yo, Royval, here's the thing. Royval's super, super skilled submission artist. I know that. But when I look at the division...
They're weak. It's weak.
It's weak, and like there was literally no one else to give a title shot to.
No, that's because what happened was Royval, the guys that were coming, Royval beat him.
Royval beat him, and Figueiredo moved up. Moreno, he just lost. So like
Moikav ain't ready yet.
Yeah, Moikav ain't ready yet. So it's almost like they're like, we'll give Royval a shot. I don't think that he is deserving of a shot yet, but I get why they didn't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I did the same research.
We got to give it to him, I guess. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I like Pantoja in this fight. I hope Pantoja keeps the belt for a little while, has a little reign. I love his style of fights. He's got to watch out, though. Royval's fucking tricky. He's fucking super, super slick, man. Yep. That one, I don't know if
they fought before.
Pantoja won, right?
Pantoja won by submission, yeah.
I don't know if it was the Royval Moreno fight. I forgot what fight it was, but man, the transition.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Transitions are great.
Amazing. But I like Pantoja to keep the belt here. I think this fight might go to distance.
I don't think it is.
Pantoja inside the distance?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I look at this fight, like when you look at Royval, exactly what you said. Like if you guys, I don't follow the divisions, but if you go and look at the division, the way it stacks up, and you see the guys that are kind of cusping and are climbing their way to a possible title shot, Royval just beat these guys. So by default, he's on top of the rung, So that's there. And then you got the guys like the Moikavs that are there, but they're not ready. You can't just throw them in there yet. You know what I mean? So it leaves Royval slick, very good grappling. The two things that he doesn't have, and I don't care what anyone says, there's one thing that Pantoja has that he doesn't have. He's got that toughness, dude.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's like in this division, he is the Roberto Duran of this division. He is. He really, really is. He's the Roberto Duran of this division. And another thing is, Royval has shown like some durability issues.
Yep.
Even though you look at his record, it says, one submission, one loss, and he's been rocked numerous times. To his credit, he recovers, but that still doesn't take away that. And when you're fighting somebody like Pantoja, if he hurts you, if he rocks you, he's either jumping your back, or he's all over you. So
like a fucking spider monkey, dude. They
didn't fight that long ago where this thing is like, oh my god, like this is going to be. I'm going Pantoja again by submission. I think he's going to sub him. Let's
go.
I think eventually he's going to find his way to his back, probably in like the third or fourth round. I think he's going to seal up a submission. It's going to be a bloody fight. You'll see Pantoja cut up.
I love it.
You know what I mean? But it's going to be one of those fights where toughness is going to prevail. Pantoja is going to hold the belt.
Super excited to watch this fight. All right. Championship fight, the main event here.
There's no way we're
Leon Rocky Edwards, Colby Chaos Covington.
I know we're not on the same side of this.
We're not on the same side of this, all right? No, look.
But you got to explain yourself.
Let me explain myself, okay? Colby Chaos Covington.
You don't even like him.
I love the guy. I think he is a WWF wrestler in the UFC. The way the trash talking, the whole image he created, the persona. I think he's fucking hilarious, and I think he's a great fighter.
Bro, you know what I found out? He's got a name for Bilal Muhammad.
What does he call him?
Do you know the guy when we were kids? Nickelodeon, was his name Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Yeah.
He calls him Bill Nye the Racist Guy.
I love it. Dude, the shit he comes out with. I mean,
he's great.
Him and Strickland are the best,
and they hate each other.
But Covington's like he'll go dirty. You know. I know he's a takedown machine. He hasn't fought in a year and a half, 2 years. Leon Edwards, before the Usman fights, right? Before the Usman fights. One of the best strikers in the UFC.
Who called?
You.
All right.
One of the best strikers in the UFC. One of the most underrated guys. Winner of 12 straight. When's he going to get his shot? Why is everybody avoiding Leon Edwards? He goes and fights Bilal. The eye poke thing happens. Meanwhile, he's piecing him up in the fucking first round.
Almost knocked him out.
Was losing to Usman. Gets the leg knockout.
Bro,
but he didn't.
Bro, losing to Usman is an understatement.
I know that. And then
they were literally willing him out of his stool.
And then the second fight, lackluster fight. I don't know if Usman just didn't show up like he should have, but Edwards won that fight too.
Yeah.
I think Usman is better than Covington.
Okay.
He's proven to be better than Covington.
Okay.
I think that was a tougher matchup for Edwards defensively. I think Edwards, with his speed, his striking speed, if he could just keep Covington off his hips, which I think he can.
How?
I think he can.
But how?
I think he can.
How?
He kept Usman off his hips.
Usman wasn't shooting.
He was shooting.
Usman did not wrestle at all in that fight.
In the second fight.
Didn't wrestle.
Go watch the fucking replay, bro.
I watched it 100 times. So go ahead. Keep going.
I think Edwards is going to not let Covington play his game. And I think he's going to piece him up a little bit. And I think he's going to win it by a decision.
There's no way he's winning a decision, dude.
I think he's winning a decision.
If there's one way he beats him, he's got to knock him out. He's not winning a decision.
He's winning a decision.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I guess no. You know what? You're right. He could win a decision because it could be like those close rounds where you got to give it to somebody.
Just like the Usman Edwards second fight.
All right.
It was that kind of fight. It was very.
So
very
you're
close.
going Leon Edwards by decision.
I am.
What kind of decision? Like a dominant decision or like a 20?
No.
Like a 3-2.
Covington has his way for 2 rounds where he has him for control time for 4 minutes out of the 5 minutes.
So you think Covington controls the fight in the beginning and then Leon takes over at the end?
I think it's going to be a little back and forth.
All right.
I think 2 of the rounds Covington will have him for like 4 minutes on the ground but not do too much damage. Covington doesn't do that much damage either when they're on the ground.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? So I see the control time going that way. I see a couple close rounds and you have a deciding 5th round. I think Edwards ekes him out. Maybe even a split.
All right, listen. I got to be honest with you. I'm less convicted as I was last week on this fight. I am. I'm less convicted. I was like super convicted coming up to this fight. He knows. I was like, I'm going to throw I'm betting the house
50
on it.
units.
And I'm less convicted now because after you dive in and you refresh your memory with tape and stuff like that, and you kind of come to a realization like, okay, well, no, there's a real shot here that you forget what you said about him in your own words 2 years ago when I was telling you Edwards is the forgotten gem in this company, and I really believe that. I thought one day he's going to get his shine. The whole thing with the 2-piece and the chicken, whatever, with MadLabs when he punched him, everyone made fun of him, and he's a punk. This and that. I was like, this dude is a special. He's a special striker. He's smooth. He's slick. The thing that I think people are looking at a little bit too much though is they're looking at the Usman matchup. And I think you can't do that. And the reason why you can't do that is this. When you look at Usman, when he fought Colby Covington, you're looking at 2 guys that are really good wrestlers. So that kind of nullifies itself. Colby wasn't really shooting in that fight. He was just like when he fought Gilbert Burns. Do you know the two guys that he's never taken down? He didn't take down Usman. He didn't take Damian Maia down. Why? Because he knew Usman's got good counter wrestling, and he knows Damian Maia can submit him. Everybody else he's taken down. He's taken everyone else down. Okay, so when you look at him against Usman, that was predominantly a stand. Guys were standing and trading. That's what they were doing. And he looked good in the stand-up, but Usman's striking is better. Stronger, snappier jab. So Colby knew, look, I can't get away with that with him. Like, I can't constantly be on this guy's hips, constantly be on this guy's. He's gonna shuck me off. It's gonna go nowhere. So the game plan was different. This game plan's not going to be like that. He's not going to stand there. So, and trade. He knows, like, look, as long as I can get in on his hips, like, I'm getting him to the fucking ground. It's not Usman. He's not Usman. On the flip side, when he fought Edwards, you're looking at a guy who, bro, like, he has to literally take his fucking shoes off. He has to walk in grass. His knees are so shot. He ain't got no spring in his shot no more. His shots in wrestling are done. Why do you think he started striking so much? He needed to elevate and evolve his striking because he knew, look, I can't spring these shots out of my knees no more. Like, eventually I have to do something else. Like, I have to threaten with my wrestling and I have to become a more evolutionary striker. And that's what he did. He had the genetics. He had the athletic ability to become a really good striker. Covington's body is fresh, bro. This kid is going to stick on the path of wrestling. Now, even if he fails in the wrestling department, you're still taking away the range. You're still taking away that range of Leon Edwards where he's going to have to work. He's going to have to try to get in range. He's going to have to defensively keep you away from and then try to spit offense. Not only that, you can't throw leather as much as you want. You can't throw the kicks as much as you want because you're a fear of the takedown or getting driven back to the cage. So I honestly think in the beginning of the fight, Leon Edwards is probably going to win the first 2 rounds. I do. I think Leon Edwards is going to...
Every round starts on the feet.
Right. I think he's going to...
I think Edwards could avoid enough.
I think he's going to win, but what I think what's going to happen is, this is another thing you don't remember, Leon Edwards gasses. Leon Edwards gasses, bro. If you give him the fight that he wants on the feet, look what happened with Nate Diaz, bro. He was... He
got fucking careless.
How did you get rocked by Nate Diaz? Because he was tired.
He did get careless.
He was tired. He got rocked by Nate Diaz because he was tired, and that wasn't even like this big grapple. It was, So if you're going to stay on the feet with him for 25 minutes, good luck. He's gonna. I don't put anybody against him on the feet.
He didn't gas any Usman fights
because Usman gave him what he wanted.
Yeah, he also wasn't getting wrestled to death.
Yeah, gave him what he wanted, and Usman. Like I said, I think there was a part of Usman's mindset there was like. He got knocked, what do I got to do? I beat this guy for 23 minutes, and then he ends up knocking me out with a head kick. So I think there was a confidence thing coming into that fight. I also think on his side, there was a confidence thing coming into that fight, like saying, I knocked this guy out, I'm going to do it again, I'm in his head.
And it worked.
Bang, and it worked. Covington's coming into this fight, bro. Like, he is the kid that like we talk about game plans, this kid's going on to one thing. He's going to fucking strike with you until he can corner you into the corner. And shoot on your hips. He fails. He's going to keep going. He's going to ankle pick you. He's training 10,000 feet above elevation for this fight with the cardio. He's going to use his cardio as a weapon, dude. Like, his cardio is going to be his weapon in this fight. And I think he's probably going to fail in the first round or two getting takedowns. I really do. I think Leon's is going to shrug him off. The crowd's going to go crazy. He's going to shrug him off again. The announcer's going to say, look at that takedown defense. But I think, like the 49ers defense, dude, he's going to wear on him, and then that first takedown's going to come. And then the second takedown.
It could be 2-2 going into the fifth.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a close fight, but I'm saying I just think at the end of the day, you're going to hear the announcer say, you're going to hear like Rogan or whoever's announcing the fight say, like in the fifth round, like, now you can see the weaponization of his cardio coming. Like, you can see Leon's tired. He can't stop the takedown. Kobe's on top of him. And I could see Kobe, like, at the end of the fifth round, having that good look on top of him.
Yeah.
And getting the decision.
I think, and you said it at my house on Saturday. You're like,
then there's the business.
You said they want Covington to win, Trump, the whole thing, Dana White. But you said it at my house. You're like, you wonder if maybe a Colby will have any cardio issues. You know what? I don't think he's gonna have any cardio issues, dude. That dude's a cardio machine. I don't see him just because it's been a year and a half. Yeah. He's 35. He's not 40.
He's not 40. Yeah. And he doesn't spar. Yeah, he don't spar a lot. He's fresh. His mind's fresh. But the other thing is, guys, too, we talk about the business. We talk about the business. You got to look at where this fight's coming from. A lot of people are shitting on him, saying, he doesn't deserve this fight, he doesn't deserve this fight. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at Dana White's best friend is not best friend, but really good friends is Trump.
Yep.
What better way to campaign the end of the year to have the one guy in your organization that literally is going to come out with painted Trump? He already said, if I win the belt, I'm bringing Trump into the cage. I'm putting the belt around his waist. He already said that. What better way to promote and to campaign going into the new year than having your champion, who's going to be all over everywhere, Trump boot stopping Trump. This is like also a business pivot.
Yep.
For a campaign.
And don't forget, they had a deal. You know, Covington went up to Abu Dhabi, or was it London, to be last-minute replacement, made weight with like 3 days left to be a replacement, saying he's going to get the next shot.
Yeah,
you know,
I really
deal.
believe, like, he said this numerous times in interviews, and he said it with this like weird conviction too, and that's what kind of really sold me on it. He's like, if you think for 1 second I'm losing with Trump in the building, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's see it.
I go Covington by decision.
Covington by decision. All right, let's go. Before we go, we have some cool new things that we're working on. You know, we love our community so much, and the guys in the community, just great. Just guys talking guy stuff, talking fights, talking girls, whatever. And we're going to be testing out this new thing that we're working on. It's going to take a little time to roll out, but you know, it's going to be a little men's community, so to say, a little bit outside of our Discord with a little different platform, and just getting a bunch of guys together, which really doesn't exist. It's just for guys to be guys and talk about sports and politics and fights and girls. And, you know, we're going to be working on this new thing, and it's going to be, you know, free to join in the beginning and just chop up with a bunch of guys, fight fans. It's going to be called MadLabs Fight Club. We're really excited about it. So stay tuned. It's going to be cool.
And then we're going to run a promo out. Obviously, we're going to do a promo for this.
Yeah, for this.
But we're going to run a promo out for the new year, something that we can guarantee that there's not one person, one company. I don't think anyone has ever had the balls.
It's MadLabs putting his balls on the table.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you want to, if you want to talk about somebody putting their balls on the table, then go to our website, put your email address in, and when we decide to roll out the promo code, you will get an email to show you exactly what we're doing. But I'm going to tell you right now, you wanted to talk about putting your money where your mouth is. I'm doing it this year, so definitely go over to madlabma.com, put your email in to the newsletter, and then once we do roll out that offer, you will get it firsthand.
Let's fucking go. See you Saturday.